Hello and welcome. We're at Partick Bowling and Community Club in Glasgow to celebrate St Andrew's Day, which is of course today. My name is Jenny Laurie and I'm lucky enough to be creative writing tutor and writer in residence in this marvellous, beautiful place. Tom Laurie is with me, a singer of local renown, and he will be starting his first song in a few moments. We have selected readings from some of Scotland's best authors. This has been such an enjoyable task. There's an absolute treasure trove of brilliant writing out there. Where to start? We've made our choice and I hope you enjoy. Our theme is the strong women of Scotland, starting with the very youngest and moving through to the older ones. I think we're about ready to start. Oh, I nearly forgot. St Andrew, I've hardly mentioned him. Goodness. Well, here we go. St Andrew, I promise you, will appear as the last item on the programme. We're going to begin with a poem written by Helen B. Cruikshank and set to music 100 years later by singer Jim Reid. Both of these people were from Angus. The words give a strong portrait of motherhood as seen by the rural community of the village, Inglesmaddy. Tom, are you ready?
Yep. Up the Northern Water and down by Inglesmaddy, and he's got a bairnie that hasna got a daddy. Some say it's Thomas's and some say it's Chase, and nobody expected it wi' Annie's quiet ways. Up the Northern Water, the bonny little mannie is dandled and cuddled close by Inglesmaddy's Annie. Oh, the bairnie's daddy is, the lassie will nae say, but some think it's Thomas's, and others think it's Chase. Up the Northern Water, the country folk are kind, and wha the bairnie's daddy is, they dinna muckle mind. But oh, the bairn at Annie's breast, the love in Annie's e'e, would mak me wish wi' all my micht that the lucky lad was me.
This next poem was written by our Scottish maker Jackie Kay. It's called Welcome Wee One, and I'd like to say a copy of this poem is tucked into the box of basic essentials that the Scottish Government presents to every baby born in Scotland. Welcome Wee One. Oh my darling wee one, at last you're here in the world, and wi' all your wisdom, your een bright as the stars, you've filled this hoose with licht. Your trusty wee hon, your globe o' heid, my cherished Jin, my heart's ain. Oh my darling wee one, the whole world welcomes you. The moon glows, the hearth warms. Let your life hae luck, health, charm. You're my bonny, blessed bairn, my small, miraculous gift. I never kent love like this. Here is an excerpt from the novel The White Bird Passes by Jessie Kesson. The setting is 1930s in a poverty-stricken slum near Elgin. 12-year-old Janie and her friend Gertie come by and stop to watch a heated argument that's brewing amongst the women at the village pump. Dusk had drawn the lane into its folds. The women at the causeway had become part of its pattern, absorbed into the greyness of the walls they leant against. Battle-axe leapt in sudden protest at this loss of her individuality. "It's gone fix," she said, bending to retrieve her teapot between her feet. "My Joe's due home." "What's more," the Duchess cried, coming to life and darting for second place at the pump, "this perisher of a pump's froze or choked up or something. We'll be all night squeezing a drop of water out of it." "Not me," Battle-axe defended her nickname. "Not if I've got to rattle the guts out of the damn thing. My Joe works for his supper, so he does. Not like some I could name." Polly rose, glinting-eyed to the bait. "My Hughie would work too if he'd got work, but he was never one to lick the town council's arse. If he'd licked a bit more, he might still have been on the dust cart." "Meaning what?" Battle-axe's ears flew back and flicked. "If you're insinuating my Joe's a yes man?" "I'm insinuating nothing." Polly was beyond fear. "I'm saying straight out that your Joe wasn't knocked up with the rest of them because his wife's tongue's handy for the council's ears. Who was it that nipped up to the town hall and reported wee little Spuds to the sanitary? Tell us that." Wee Lil, proud of being the sudden centre of interest, gasped, pink-faced and pleadingly, "I don't know who reported my bugs. I only know that I've lived in the lane all my days, and I've never reported anybody. You all know that." "Because you haven't got the guts, that's why." Battle-axe's skirt peeled round Wee Lil. "None of you's got any guts, except when the beer's inside you." "There's going to be a fight," Gertie prodded Janey excitedly. "Paul and Battle-axe are getting torn into each other at the pump. Come on and watch. Come on, Janey. Don't be such a fearty." Janey was a fearty, feared of so many things that left Gertie unafraid, like the women when they fought. Not looking like women anymore, but dark and furious and whirling like witches Janey had seen in storybooks. Janey's fear was never for the actual, but for the imagined. It could have been her mother, lying there, mauled and vulgar with her clothes up round her head and blood trickling from her mouth. But that will never happen, Janey vowed to herself, because I would fight for my mam. I would become as strong as anything. I know I would. A song now by Davy Robertson of Haddington. It describes a uniquely strong woman, a legend. It is sung and has been recorded by many fine singers, mainly men. Spot the tone. I reckon it's pure, unbridled admiration. The Star of the Bar. Tom?
Oh, I'll sing yous a stave, if you'll gie your attention. It's nae sang o' pity, it's nae sang o' woe, and ne'er a word o' love will I mention. But I'll sing o' a lassie I kent lang ago, nae better than maist, and nae worse than money, and what drew me to her's no easy to say. She was cool, she was heartless, and she was nae that bonny, but she was the star o' the bar in her day. I've strayed the Royal Mile wi' her, drinking in style wi' her, Rose Street, free empty and often surveyed. I've drank in the pubs wi' her, rolled in the dubs wi' her, caused a few subs frae her, never repaid. Nae better than maist, and nae worse than money, and what drew me to her's no easy to say. She was coarse, she was heartless, and she was nae that bonny, but she was the star o' the bar in her day. Oh, come all ye young laddies, remember, love passes, and all your bright dreams are like strays in the wind. But a young waltz a tune wi' ye, sing a fine tune wi' ye, pass a glass round wi' ye, drink yourselves blend. Nae better than maist, and nae worse than money, and what drew me to her's no easy to say. She was coarse, she was heartless, and she was nae that bonny, but she was the star o' the bar in her days.
Our next item is taken from the book Quines, Poems in Tribute to Women of Scotland by Gerda Stevenson. The one I have chosen tells of the life of Jenny Lee, born in Lochgelly, Fife. A Westminster MP from the age of 23, she famously conceived and gave birth to the existence of the Open University. The voice that tells the story of Jenny Lee is that of the Open University itself. I am Jenny Lee's Open University. A wee bastard, she'd whisper, stroking the white paper that had my life laid out before the faithless members. There's plenty want to see you dead in my waters, but I'll be mother and midwife, and you will thrive. We were made for each other, long before she knew it. Daughter of Lochgelly, coal and leather, families broken by the general strike, the town whose slit-tongued taws whipped bairns' palms in bleak schools, exporting the weapon to all the earths, inert strips of tanned hide, buffed to a shine and proudly stamped with their maker's name. Widowed by 60 and nothing to lose, she gives me her all. Only the best is good enough, she declares, my champion in Parliament's hallowed halls, a challenge to their gilded ranks. Hoop and hokum, they howl. It'll never catch on. Dad wheels into her memory on his bike from Fife's mines, laden with laundry and food to keep his lass at her studies in the capital. Through me, she swears she'll honour him and Hardy's Jude, his unbearable fate, lift the have-nots from obscurity by releasing knowledge like caged birds into the open air. And look at me now, her only child, the wee bastard she dared to nurture. How I have grown. Norman MacCaig, poet, lived in Edinburgh. His work was universally loved and respected. His poetry reached thousands and thousands of children and young adults throughout his long life. His spiritual home was Assynt, where he spent every summer being at one with the community spirit and the remote wild beauty of the landscape. Aunt Julia. Aunt Julia spoke Gaelic, very loud and very fast. I could not answer her. I could not understand her. She wore men's boots when she wore any. I can see her strong foot, stained with peat, paddling with the treadle of the spinning wheel, while her right hand drew yarn marvellously out of the air. Hers was the only house where I've lain at night in the absolute darkness of a box bed, listening to crickets being friendly. She was buckets and water flouncing into them. She was winds pouring wetly round house ends. She was brown eggs, black skirts, and a keeper of threepenny bits in a teapot. Aunt Julia spoke Gaelic very loud and very fast. By the time I had learned a little, she lay silenced in the absolute black of a sandy grave at Luscantire. But I hear her still, welcoming me with a seagull's voice across 100 yards of peat scrapes and lazy beds, and getting angry, with so many questions unanswered. Our last song now, celebrating Flora MacDonald, who in 1745 risked her life to help Bonnie Prince Charlie escape from the Redcoats. She went to extreme lengths to save the prince from a certain and violent death. Then a woman's strength wasn't recognised. We have come a long way. Strong Women Rule Us All by Brian McNeill, musician of renown throughout Scotland and far beyond these shores.
There's a moment of your story that has always haunted me, when you set out in your open boat to help the pearman flee. Was Charlie Stewart's future already plain to see? Did you know he'd be a waster all his days? If you did, I'd give the world to find a single tear you cried. From the Coollands day, the Carolinas, you showed us one and all the courage you could call when the tears refused to fall from your eyes. And after 30 years, after all that you'd been through, was the Dr. Bonicelli just a memory to rue? As you watch your husband putting on his coat of scarlet hue to go and fight for German George's crown. But you never tried to hide behind the dreams of days gone by. From the Coollands day, the Carolinas, you showed us one and all the courage you could call when the tears refused to fall from your eyes. And sometimes I think I see you when I look upon a face where a woman's independence has kept a woman's grace, where confidence and pride refuse to know their place, nor hide behind the easy tricks of beauty. For to me your life's a light that shines across the stormy sky. From the Coollands day, the Carolinas, you showed us one and all the courage you could call when the tears refused to fall from your eyes. Yes, from the Coollands day, the Carolinas, strong women rule us all with the courage that they call when the tears refuse to fall from their eyes.
been working on this poem for a few weeks, but I must say it is still very much a work in progress. It's called A Poem for St Andrew's Day. In the year 832, a battle was fought and won. The Picts and the Scots had too few men, but the Angles and Saxons were done. What gave the Scots the strength that day? The story tells us the king knelt to pray. Then the clouds made a strange formation. They seemed to create the shape of a cross, a diagonal white cross, the St Andrew's cross the king saw as his salvation. The backcloth was the blue of the sky. You can see the saltire evolving. The pride of our time, the meaning it holds, the symbol of our great nation. There was a triumphant bugle call, and the king announced to one and all, St Andrew, who died on a similar cross, will be the patron saint of Scots. On 30th November, we honour our saint with music and dancing and poetry, with friendship, tolerance and gratitude for the flag we perceive as propriety. Let's make a wish. Yes, let's make a wish. Better times for everyone, everywhere. Upwards and onwards.
Oh, no. Onwards and upwards.